So briefly, once upon a time, desktop infrastructure was a desk. The desk was a place of focused learning. Then the desk became a desktop. New tools were introduced to enhance learning, and shortly thereafter, the desktop was connected to a network. The clean, orderly, structured, focused desktop became this. See it on that side? And as such, while information was good, it overwhelmed even well-organized students, and it overran those lacking organizational skills. Then along came VDI, virtual desktop infrastructure. But to make it work, IT had to build and manage a complex private cloud. And the user desktop experience was a bit slow and still difficult to organize. Then along came the new network. It brought about a new world of possibilities. And in the new network, intelligence is both distributed and centralized. The dedicated infrastructure is now shared in a hybrid fashion, and it delivers new efficiencies, so great, in fact, that desktops can be delivered like TV channels. There can be, instead of virtual desktops, classrooms in the cloud, labs in the cloud, projects in the cloud, lesson plans in the cloud, all organized as comprehensive, integrated desktops. Students and teachers could have hundreds of such desktops organized by specific subject or project, each designed for optimal organization and learning, each easily accessed with a specific token. And so, as you can imagine, we can use such a token to not only provide a desktop and organized best practice for children's learning, but one in which provides a competitive advantage. So that children can focus on learning itself and not necessarily the organizational skills of an unorganized, unlimited resource of information. So we're going to actually demonstrate such a desktop. We're going to do it on one screen right now because we have only a network connection here, to my knowledge. Let's just double check and see if we did get a network connection on this side. So far, so good. Let's just have a look. So the network is here. So I hold in my hand the token, but not just a token, a veritable cache of tokens. Tokens that can transport me into museums, world history classes, curriculum, lesson plans, you name it, all collectively organized in individual unique clouds. So I'm going to insert my token carefully. These MacBook Airs are great, but they're a little tight. And so, up comes my organized life of play, school, teaching, and work. In this particular role, I'm going to assume the role of a teacher, and I'm preparing a virtual classroom for World History 101. I'm going to launch a helper client that connects to this cloud, enter in my unique PIN, and select where I want to go, in this case, World History 101. And this is the master World History classroom for all the students I'm going to share it with. And I'm going to connect now simply by selecting this token. And now I'm transported into World History class. I've organized for my students a comprehensive calendar with important dates, homework help tips, a virtual environment so that they can access help tools for homework itself, like study guides. The calendar is pre-programmed, as I mentioned, with important dates. And the browser and all my browser history can also be programmed with tips, all in advance. As you can see, this desktop is running on a MacBook Air. yet we have 85 gig on this MacBook Air, which, as you know, is not really available. So these are unlimited portals into learning. I have my assignments all pre-configured as well. So let me assume the role of a student briefly, and I will eject this token and pretend I'm a student and walk over to a dorm room, a lab, by merely bringing my token along with me. Insert it into a different device, as mentioned. Maybe my laptop was lost, or a student needed a help session at their place. And this time, I'm going to assume the role of a student in the world history class, the student named Juan. And so, let's see. And as you can see, this student now is authenticating to the cloud, hopefully, if we have an internet connection, and we are transported into the same classroom. Now students have a competitive advantage to concentrate on focused learning. And as you can see, the homework here has the same assignments as the professor wanted to have. There's my study guide for the trial of Socrates coming up. And my calendar is all organized. As you can see also, this is got a deep video experience possible. I will, in the last minute remaining here, fire up a media-rich application such as iTunes. Perhaps I want to go there to view a podcast. And we'll just take a very brief look at some video, just so you can see there's no screen paints going on, and so on. So this has all the performance you would expect, and beyond, in fact, than your normal desktop running locally. We'll just go ahead and launch some documentary. Hopefully I picked something good. All right, we'll just do this journey. And we'll go ahead and launch a trailer. The audio's not hooked up, but you can kind of hear it in the background. And we'll go into full screen mode here. There you have it. I can resize it down to a smaller screen, and as you can see, there is absolutely no painting going on whatsoever. This is just full-blown desktop live. So again, the focus is not necessarily the performance in the video. That's great. The focus is access to clouds upon clouds of information, organized in advance to provide learning experiences for students, to provide a competitive advantage for those students to organize their life as a collection of token-accessed clouds. So if I go back to my cloud, let's say spring semester to 2012, all of my research for that particular class and coursework is completely contained in that self-contained cloud and accessible in that regard. Thank you.